Welcome back.
Yes.
Vaughn, we've got a really exciting topic today. I know we say that every week, but this one I am like sitting on the edge of my seat for. This one is exciting because this is a specific focus on a technique. And I want to talk it up, but maybe I'll just manage people's expectations.
Yep.
But essentially, if you can master this technique or practice it or get good at it or really understand the depths of what is possible when you fully embody this technique, the quality of your life will improve. Not just improve for you, improve for the people you live with, improve for the people you interact with. Because really, and I probably sound like a broken record about this, but if you can understand that this is the secret to unlocking everything that you want, meaning to have the most sort of enriching experience of your life, I can't think of anything more important than this.
Absolutely.
And I hate to overstate it. I'm just going to drop the bar a little bit.
Yeah.
But really, this is at the heart of everything. It doesn't matter the topic. It doesn't matter the presenting problem.
Mm-hmm.
This will get you to where you want to go. Even if you have a specific goal, even if you have a specific relationship that is really stuck, even if you have a decision that you haven't made yet, this is like one solution for all problems.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I know, drum roll. Even just talking about it gives me, let's get straight to it. And I wish it had a fancier title, but you know, the one thing I see over and over and over again, not just in the work that I do with other people, but in my own life. I've been a human for 43 years and I too am guilty of not doing this. And when I leaned into this more fully in a more committed way, my life, I promise you, it just changed. Like genuinely from the depths of my soul changed. When we do not resist what is happening in our lives, when we do not just not resist, but when we embrace and we surrender to whatever is in our life, minute by minute, every single day, what results is that you have a transformative experience of your life. There is no past. The past does not exist. The past
Can't change it.
Just in your imagination. It is alive only in thought. It is done. And when we think about eyewitness accounts and how faulty our memories are,
important.
you would be staggered to know how we could have viewed the same event, a very neutral event, and we would have seen totally different things.
It's like viewing a car accident.
This was the study. And they say, which color was the car? You said blue, I said white. This is a known phenomena that the way we the memories, the way we recollect them is just through our thought system, through a filter of like our imagination. So the past is not there. The future never arrives. The future never arrives because we only have this moment. So when you can ground yourself to whatever is showing up in the present moment, this guarantees that your life transforms from that moment of commitment onwards. For example, it is easy to feel your feelings and enjoy moments that are positive, moments where you're doing things that you want to do, moments where you're out at dinner and you're with your girlfriend and you're enjoying it. Very easy to lean into those moments. Very difficult to lean into moments, speaking from experience, where your 3-year-old is having a tantrum for the 10th time in the day. You've just come home from work. He needs to go have a shower because he's got like dirt all over his face. It is very hard to say yes to those moments.
The 3 areas, the past, the present, and the future, have such an impact on your mental well-being that if you can get them in the right order and make sure that you're focusing on the right ones, you can live such a better quality of life than you could ever think of. So, for example, the past. If you're sitting in the past and you're thinking about the regrets, the things that happened, the things that didn't happen, and your mind is consistently in that hole of the past, you can lead yourself down a really dark hole. Like we're talking about depression. right? The past is always depression, the regrets, the should-haves, the didn'ts. And something that's important to learn is that you will never be a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a teenager, or whatever lifespan you're in. You will never be that person again. So no one can change that for you other the way you look at things. Similarly, the future. Once you're in the future, would you agree that if you're thinking about the future, making things up, this is what I should be doing in the future in 10 years' time, I should be married, I should have kids by this age, I should have this particular job, that is where you're getting into anxiety territory. And then the present, as you were saying, if you sit there in the present and the discomfort of your emotions, whether it's great, happy, amazing things that are the best that are happening, as well as all the bad, the difficulties, the arguments with your partner, the arguments with your friends, the arguments with your boss, and just sit there and recognize that and be in that present, yes, you will have a better quality of life.
So in the present moment, half the time we're going to be experiencing things that are blissful and joyful and chosen and wanted. And the other part of the time, being a human, we are deeming things to be unwanted. Why is this happening? I didn't want this to happen. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me now? And that just looks like we've labeled that as unwanted. But when we consider that we're here to experience experiences.
Yes, the ups and downs. Like life is not linear.
It's not linear, and it's not supposed to be all one note.
No, and if it was, what a boring vanilla life.
What's like more perplexing is that we know this. Everyone knows this. Every person knows that there will be challenges. It'll be up, it'll be down, it'll be left, it'll be right, it'll be good, it'll be bad. And yet, when we're in the down, we're like, why me?
Yeah.
Why now? What, this, and that's resistance. That is leaning out. That is not leaning into the full depth of human experience.
Or this always happens to me.
Yeah.
It's because I'm such an X, Y, and Z person.
But stop there, because so when we're in the present moment, okay, there is what is happening in reality, and then there is a story on top of that reality.
Yeah.
And when we're in the present moment, there's no story. We're just living a moment. The second we go to imagination and we start adding a story to what is here, we are again lost in thought, and we are not in the present moment. We are either in the past or in the future. So reality is pure and, I want to say boring, but clean. There's no story. There's no filter.
Yeah.
Right now, what's reality? One person is sitting talking to another person.
Right now, I'm like, I wonder if my kids had dinner.
There's a story.
That is an instant story.
And that is your brain just going, escaping the present moment, escaping the present moment, escaping. Oh, I hope this podcast goes well.
Yeah.
I hope the listeners really enjoy
Resonate.
Story, narrative, not what's here.
Yes.
What's here, two people talking.
Yes.
Okay. So when you can get yourself back to the micro level and you really look at what is reality, what is here right now.
What am I dealing with right
now?
Yes.
And I keep giving the example because a toddler tantrum's pretty like all-consuming.
It is so all-consuming.
Let me get to the reality of that situation. That looks like a person and another person. One person is yelling and making loud noises and thrashing about.
Yeah.
And the other person is standing there. Everything else about what happens next is a story. And my story might be, as a mum, it might be, oh, he's always going to be like this. Oh my gosh, he's so challenging. Why is he doing this? Why does he never listen to me? Story.
Story. It's the same with arguing with your partner.
Yep. There is two people talking or two people using loud voices or making sounds. Okay. And then everything else is a story. So when we can open ourselves up to whatever the moment presents us, knowing that it's all good, it's all intentional, it's supposed to be like this. There's no mistakes.
And I think this is where people get into it shouldn't be like this, right? Resistance. Why does it have to be exactly like, well, how else should it be? Because the other way that you would like it to be is perfect, right? And it's not going to be like that. Like your partner's not going to go, whatever you say is correct. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. That's not reality. Your toddler's not going to go, oh, sorry, Mum, I've just had a moment of clarity. Let me get into the
jump
bath.
in the bath.
I'll use lavender bubbles today. Don't bother, I can open the top. It's just not going to happen. And your boss also, like, take it to the corporate world. If your boss is yelling at you, and he shouldn't be yelling, like, you shouldn't yell, whatever, but if he is and he's telling you you're this or that, but that's what he thinks about the situation.
And imagine this energetically.
Yeah.
Let's use your boss example. Energetically imagine this. So you're at work and your boss is reprimanding you about something. Every single human in that moment, I would imagine, has a feeling that they want to lean out of that, that they want to resist that.
And not only that, but they're also feeling like, oh, this is not the right place for me. I need to leave. It's an instant, I've got to leave here because this is not the right place for me. I'm not doing my job properly. I've got to run. I'm the worst.
But I don't want to lead our listeners down the wrong path. I am not saying to stand there and be abused verbally, but if it's a challenging conversation where one of your superiors is pointing out on this project, I would have liked you to have done this, that level of conversation.
Yes.
Even in that, we have a tendency that we would not want to sit through that. It's uncomfortable. They're taking our work. That doesn't feel good. I would rather be publicly praised than this situation. But imagine energetically with your superior, if you didn't lean out in that moment and get defensive and shut down, whatever that looks like, imagine you were a little bit just more okay with it and just went, okay, that's what's in the moment. That's what I'm showing up for.
You know what's a good saying? That's interesting.
That's interesting. And we try to say without being like sarcastic.
Passive aggressive.
Energetically, that conversation, I believe, will go a lot better. And the magic's that the more you can do this with things that are unwanted in your life, the challenging relationship, the difficult conversation with the boss, the toddler having the tantrum, the more you can lean into those moments than pull away, the less they will happen. Did you hear what I said?
I did. Tell me about the toddler.
So with one of my children, my tendency was to be patient for a little while and then just explode. And obviously that did not go well. We're disconnected. He's not feeling mum's connection. He's feeling like he's judging. I'm not judging him. I'm judging the behavior. But to him, he just is like experiencing the disconnection from mum. So when this now happens, I just get on the floor and I say, I'm here. I love you. I'm here. You're safe. You're okay. I'm here. I'm waiting with you. It's fine. I love you. I love you. And I'm also saying, I love this moment. I love this moment. This moment, I have to love it because it's what is. Anything else is madness. To say I don't want this, this is what is. And so when I do that, you can just know try it out at home. You will instantly notice energetically that situation diffuse.
It is the same with when you are arguing with your loved one, and I do that because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. And there are many times where the stubbornness, where I'm just like, no, I'm going to run with that feeling.
And when we run with that feeling, it gets worse. And it
does.
So the advice and the transformative piece of information here, and don't just take our word for it. Try this.
It's not easy, Kat. You can't say it's
Do you know when it gets easy? Do you know when it gets easy? When you see it work.
That's true. Because I have seen it work. And
even then, sometimes there are fights that I want to have.
That's what I was saying. The stubbornness will come out of me and I'll go, no, I'm going to have this one. Yeah,
and that's okay. And then when you remember, you come back. But this episode, it's short and it's sweet and it's designed to be. But if you can just take away and do it with the most challenging thing in your experience right now, and then write to us and tell us how this now looks. Because to resist what is in little and big ways, you know, the amount of times that we might say no energetically in a day, no, this meeting's taking too long.
Oh, this could have been an email.
This elevator is just taking forever. No, when is it time to go home? The amount of resistance we have to our day-to-day experience is actually quite scary to consider. Yeah. Imagine how much of our life we're just saying no to. A lot. And the energy that takes versus yes, 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 just that. It's truly transformative.
It is transformative, but it is hard and it takes practice. But once you keep practicing it, like with everything, you see the little changes.
And
it's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
And then the little ones become the big ones because what you're giving off as communication is coming back to you in better communication, and then the possibilities and the opportunities. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Listeners,
tell us.
Try it. Tell us.
Feel your feelings. Say yes to the moment. Lean into it. And do let us know how you go with this technique.